Good morning. Thanks for spending some time with BYU-Idaho Radio today. These are your morning headlines for December 11th, 2024, here on BYU-Idaho Radio. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Austin Pace. The trial for a man who allegedly confessed on Facebook to the murder of a 23-year-old man began with opening statements yesterday. 43-year-old Mark Bent is charged with first-degree murder for killing 23-year-old Nicholas Todd Bird back in September of 2022. District Judge Michael Wythe is presiding over the trial, which is expected to last into next week. EastIdahoNews.com reports that Bonneville County Deputy Prosecutor Stephen Hatterley opened the state's arguments, calling Bent frustrated, resentful, and bitter. Shortly after moving to Idaho Falls, Bent joined a local car club called the Castaways, which Bird had also been in. Rumors started to circle that Bent was an undercover cop, which angered him. He wanted to do something that would be meaningful, and it just wasn't happening, said Hatterley. So he became increasingly angry, and the evidence will show that he decided to do something, and what he did was kill a man. Bent reportedly shot Bird 17 times in the street near his home. After the alleged shooting, Bent texted his parents, apologizing and confessing the murder. Bent then drove out the Albertsons parking lot on 17th Street, where he posted his confession on Facebook. I'm saddened to say that I've committed some serious crimes today that will put me in jail for the rest of my life or lead to death, Bent said in his post. I was slandered on Facebook with rumors of me being an undercover police officer. People kept posting about me on speed hunters in a negative way, but my main goal was to kill Nick Bird, the founder of the Castaways that started all of this by spreading rumors. According to Hatterley, Bent called 911 to turn himself in about 30 minutes after the murder. Ben reportedly stated, I need to turn myself in, I shot someone, and said, his name is Nicholas Bird. Ben's father also called 911 to report that his son told him that he had killed someone. Witnesses like Bird's girlfriend, Bird's neighbor, who also called 911 about the murder, a police detective, Ben's father, a friend of Bent, and an emergency dispatcher for the Idaho Falls Police Department also gave their opening statements. Court is expected to continue at 9 a.m. today. A federal appeals court is expected to hear arguments over whether Idaho should be prohibited from enforcing a strict abortion ban during medical emergencies when the pregnant patient's life or health is at risk. The state law makes it a felony to perform an abortion unless a procedure is necessary to prevent the death of the mother. The Biden administration sued the state of Idaho 2 years ago, contending that the law violates a federal rule called the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, or EMTALA, because it prevents doctors from performing abortions that save their patients from serious infections, organ loss, or other serious medical issues. The U.S. Supreme Court heard the case earlier this year, but sent it back to the lower courts. Idaho officials have argued that the state abortion ban doesn't violate EMTALA. Instead, they say, according to EastIdahoNews.com, the fetus or embryo should be considered a patient with protections under EMTALA as well. They also argue that doctors have enough wiggle room under the law to use their best judgment about when to treat pregnant women with life-threatening medical conditions. About 50,000 women in the U.S. develop life-threatening complications during pregnancy, which is about 0.83% of pregnant women each year. Complications include blood loss, sepsis, or the loss of reproductive organs. In rare cases, doctors may need to terminate a pregnancy to protect the health of the mother, especially in rare cases where the baby has no chance to survive. But even with the state saying the law is clear, some state abortion bans have made medical decisions that once seemed clear feel particularly fraught for some emergency room physicians. The federal appeals court is expected to hear arguments on Tuesday afternoon. Community members are rallying together to support a junior at Thunder Ridge High School who was recently diagnosed with cancer. Dominic Nunez had been experiencing abdominal pain for a few weeks, and after medical evaluation, a softball-sized tumor was found. Nunez has already undergone 2 surgeries, but it is very likely that he will need more down the road. As of right now, according to EastIdahoNews.com, his treatment plan consists of about 5 months of chemotherapy, followed by a couple months of daily radiation treatments. After that, he will potentially need another 20 or more weeks of additional follow-up chemotherapy, totaling 67 weeks of treatment. A GoFundMe has been set up for Nunez and his family. As of this morning, $12,000 of the $20,000 goal has been raised. Thanks for making us part of your morning routine. These have been your morning headlines for December 11th, 2024. We've got more great content for you anytime you want it. Just search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast app. You can also ask your smart speaker to play KBYI 94.3 FM. We're also online. Head on over to byui.edu/radio to listen there. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Austin Pace.